Thank you for tuning into the Seabass Express. My name's Sebastian. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It's been a while since I've been on the podcast. I've been trying to find somebody to host it. I think we have found somebody to host it, a co-host with me. But even if that doesn't pan out, I'm going to be posting here about once a week. That's the new schedule we're going to be on. I miss doing YouTube. YouTube's one of my favorite things. I've also built out the set a little bit here with a little bit of my favorite stuff. And, without further ado, let's get right into this review. This is going to be my first movie review. It's for Captain America Brave New World. Spoiler alert, this is a spoiler review. So if you don't want a spoiler, please happily take your ass up and out of this YouTube video. Please come back when you've watched Captain America Brave New World, or if you've watched Captain America Brave New World. Wow. And if you haven't and you still are here, thank you. I'm going to start telling the review now. This movie was very bad. This movie was very, very bad. I want to break it into sections for my first movie review. But I just wanted to say that if you haven't seen this movie, please save your money. This was a bad movie, not worth the price of admission here. But without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Let's start off with the main character, the main man himself, Captain America, Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie. I really liked his fight scenes. Every one of his fight scenes were really dynamic. They were really entertaining to watch. I feel like they really choreographed his fight scenes well. There's a lot of controversy on whether he should have got the position, whether he should have got the role, or whether it should have been handed to Bucky. I'm actually a Bucky fan. I think I'm Team Bucky. I think he should have received the shield. But I think that Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, does a good job in this. I just think the script I think they really screwed him in his movie. They didn't really do anything for him in the script. He's a good actor. He didn't have much to work with. And it's very prevalent in this movie. The dialogue was clunky. It was just one of the most redeeming things was Captain America's fight scenes. Those were one of the best things, best parts of the movie. And Anthony Mackie did well. He's a good actor. So the next one we're going to be talking about is Thaddeus Ross, played by Harrison Ford. This is actually Harrison Ford's first time playing this character. This was actually played by William Hurt, the late great William Hurt, before he passed away. God rest his soul. But I think that Harrison Ford really has to do a lot of work in this movie. He does a lot of work in this movie. He says a lot of exposition. He's telling you what's going on the entire movie. He's just... it was bad. His story revolves around his health, his daughter, and a policy that he's trying to get the governments of the world on. And that's his main thing. But why does he want to do that? Just because they promised their people that. But what does that really mean? They were very hand-wavy about what that all would mean for the planet. It would mean better health, better technology. It was just very hand-wavy. But we don't know why he's so hell-bent on getting that approved, other than it'll make me look good to my daughter and she'll start speaking to me again. He also had something going on with his health. Obviously, you guys are going to know. It kind of leads into him becoming the Red Hulk. I'm sure everyone could see that from a mile away. They put the Red Hulk all over the trailers there. And the Red Hulk, spoiler alert, was in this movie for, I think, 7 minutes. 6-7 minutes of screen time. And he was good. The visual effects are getting better for the Incredible Hulk for sure. That just goes with time. They didn't really go into his heat powers other than the fact that he burned parts of his clothes off, which you'll see that if you've read the comic books. You'll be like, oh, his heat powers. One of his powers is that the madder he gets, the hotter he gets. They didn't really touch on that. And this is where the suspension, like the disbelief, kind of clicks for me, because I can't suspend all my disbelief. Like, Captain America's new suit, it's a new suit. It'll help him survive a lot, but there's some of these punches that he should not have been able to take. He was getting wailed on at one point. Ross, as the Red Hulk, wailed on. His suit was being pummeled into the ground, and this dude was still standing. And there was one point where the Red Hulk swung a pole, and this dude in his suit, but with his bare hands, caught the pole. The suit may be made of vibranium or adamantium, but he didn't take the super soldier serum. They even made a point to say that multiple times. How the fuck did he catch that? How did he catch that? Explain that. So that's where, like, the disbelief really freaking, clicked for me. Like, I can't suspend my disbelief that much. So, I mean, it's a comic book movie, but he should have been fucked. His arms should be fucking jello right now, This dude should be fucking dead from how many punches he took from Hulk. He's just a regular person. I just want to say all that to say that they really wasted the Red Hulk. They used him for a very little bit amount of time. His motivations weren't 100% clear or fleshed out, and he was just very expositional. It was just expository. He just fed the plot. It was just crazy. I didn't like that. Next character, please. The leader, Samuel Stevens, aka Mr. Blue. This guy is also from the '08 movie. This character is from the '08 movie. This actor actually played him in the '08 movie, The Incredible Hulk, as well. That's how I know he's a good actor, and that's how I know this wasn't his fault, because he wasn't very good in this movie. But I think it's because of the way it's written. You're going to hear me say that a lot. It's written. I think they didn't give them a lot to work with in terms of what was written there, because I've seen him in The Incredible Hulk, and he was really good. And then I see him in this, and he's really, really bad. It's very inconsistent of, like, acting ability. So I think the script was really bad. They don't even explain his powers. His powers, I guess, are probability. Like, he can guess probability based on probabilities what's gonna happen, and I guess he's super smart. Okay. No, he was held prisoner by Thaddeus Ross for 16 years. And out of that 16 years, this is year 16, because it goes from '08 to now. So this is year 16, and this dude just decided to make a move against Thaddeus Ross, and we pick up, and this dude's still in his prison cell. But now, all of a sudden, he just now makes up this mind control technology to get out. And in 16 years, he hasn't made one attempt to get out until now. Crazy. So, just things that just don't make sense. This was really an Incredible Hulk sequel, but under the Captain America brand, which was a shame. I gotta give it to the visual arts department, though. Like, they made him look fucked up. He was disgusting, so that was really cool. Bucky makes an appearance. There's nothing really to say. He was on screen for like 2 minutes. He says a really inspirational. He says an inspirational, quote, and it was kind of cheesy, and they used it for a laugh. But he's the Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan plays him. He got Suave. Sebastian Stan's a G. So, nothing much to him. But side note, in the one scene that the Winter Soldier was in, there's this Black Widow character, and she's such a small role. They've referred to her by name one time, but the rest of the time, she's known as a Black Widow, the Black Widow, Black Widow. Right? She was serious the entire movie. She sees Bucky Barnes. She starts drooling over him. They used it to make like a joke about how she's like infatuated with him. And it was just so out of character because she was so dead serious the entire movie to that one scene. And then they literally don't even give that room to breathe. And they skip right into her being super serious again. So that was very jarring. I'm not even gonna go into her as a character because she's literally referred to by name one time. She's really weird. She's like some weird opposition to Captain America. She's Thaddeus Ross's head of security, but that's really it. She does some Black Widow stuff. All the stuff, same thing we've seen Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Belova do before, but not as good. So, and then lastly, characters. Liv Tyler, she makes an appearance for about a minute. Her voice was on screen for more than that, maybe 2 minutes. She had maybe 2 minutes. Her still just a plot device, just like in the 2008 Incredible Hulk's movie. So, nothing much there. So, that was the first section I wanted to talk about, just the characters. I wanted to give everybody their due. And actually, there's one more character I want to talk about. Carl Lebley as Isaiah Bradley. He was cool. He's like the forgotten superhero, the forgotten like Captain America, and they play him up that way. His story is kind of sad, I guess. I mean, he gets taken into custody. I mean, they explained this in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, that he was in prison for 30 years wrongly so that the government could experiment on him. And this lady faked his death so he could go back into the real world because she felt bad after 30 years. And they fleshed that out way better in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. And that's it. That's all they really say about him. His motivation is he's trying to stay out of trouble. Sam brings him into the White House. He gets brainwashed, and he's being framed for trying to kill the president, basically. I feel like they wasted his character. I feel like anybody could have played his role, and it would have hit the exact same way. It didn't. The whole movie was a bunch of exposition. They were just telling you exactly what's going on and exactly how you're supposed to feel about it at all times. Very exposition heavy. The dialogue is also very clunky. There's just a lot of shit that normal people don't say. It's just jarring. It takes you out of the movie because you're like, who the fuck wrote that? Like, there's a lot of things I want to touch on in the movie. It doesn't really ape scenes from other movies, you know. It doesn't take inspiration from scenes from other movies. It just directly steals scenes from other movies. Like, one-to-one directly steals scenes from other movies. I'll just point one out. The hospital scene, 1-to-1. The characters are different, and there's a delineation in the context of what's going on. Very minute. But it's basically the same situation, basically the same thing going on. There's a lot with this movie. The new Falcon, like I said, I don't feel like a lot of people are going to know about the new Falcon. They didn't really do well in cementing him as the new Falcon. They pushed way harder to cement the new Captain America as the new Captain America, but they should have been doing a dual job and equally making people feel like this guy is the new Falcon, because it's his, successor. I felt like that was underutilized. I liked their dynamic too. I felt like their dynamic it worked really well. There was odd jump cuts in this movie. You'll notice one where Captain America Sam Wilson is in this gym with Isaiah Bradley and Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon, and he's talking, and it just cuts weird, and he's just walking into another room. And I just felt like that, like they just needed to give that more of a second to breathe and then cut into the next scene, but there was no room to breathe in this movie. The motivations weren't really fleshed out. Shit just happens because the plot needs it to happen. I was really disappointed. This really didn't make me excited to go see the Fantastic Four. I was already not too excited to go see the Fantastic Four. But this movie really just sucked the life out of me, to be honest with you. It was not very good in cementing any of these characters moving forward. You don't want to see any of these characters return because this movie just did them so fucking dirty. I don't know. I don't really even want to talk too much more. I'll let you can work out the motivations yourself. But this guy with probability and intelligence was trying to take over the world to get back at Ross for imprisoning him. That's pretty much the story. He stopped ultimately. He turns himself in. This like makes no sense. It was just a brain dead plot. The leader kills an army member, a guy in the military that's helping Sam Wilson out, to then go to Sam Wilson to turn himself in as part of his big master plan, to then fail because he turned himself in. What? And I guess there is a reason why he turned himself in. He turned himself in, and I guess the second he turned himself in, he spilled his guts to the world. And as he spilled his guts, in that moment there was somebody scribing for him. And the scribe scribed all those notes into a public forum where everybody in the world instantaneously got it to their phones. Instant message that scribe to their phones, because I swear as soon as the cuffs went on this motherfucker, everybody got a notice on their phone, an instant fucking message talking about, oh, this is the fucking story here. Da-da-da. How did they know that? He just got arrested 10 seconds ago. It doesn't even make sense. The villain defeated himself. You know, Captain America doesn't really fucking defeat anybody hand to hand this time around. You know, he talks the Red Hulk down. Oh, this is the part I missed. Thaddeus Ross, his daughter's not talking to him because of the persecution that Bruce Banner faced at the hands of Thaddeus Ross in the '08 movie. In the '08 Incredible Hulk movie. She's not talking to him. But he just happened to say in passing to somebody that they used to walk through cherry blossoms. He said it to Sam. That's why he knew. Duh. He said it to Sam. That he just mentioned it in passing that, hey, you know, me and my daughter used to walk through cherry blossoms back when she didn't hate me. So this dude, in the middle of a fight, he's like, yo, get me to the nearest cherry blossom field. I got this. He brings him to the cherry blossom field, where this guy then fights him for a little bit. This guy realizes he's outmatched. He has no more weapons. This guy's armor's been ripped off. So he gets up. He's like, yo, I got this. He's like, everybody stand down. He's like, Thaddeus, I know you can hear me. And I know that you're trying to change. I know you could beat my ass with one punch. I know you know that you could beat my ass with one punch. But I know you don't want to do that. It kind of gave me the Martha vibes. Just like, you know, some ridiculous shit, and now we gotta be friends. It just didn't make any sense. It gave me those Martha vibes, son. So, you know, it was just some unexplainable bullshit just so we could be friends. Because they took him to the raft, and Sam was still referring to him as Mr. President. So I guess he's still the president in jail. Whatever. I guess he's not impeached yet. I feel like, you know, they speed ran the rest of that shit. They could have speed ran this man's impeachment. But cool. And we get to the end credit scene. I wouldn't waste your time with the end credit scene. It's going to end up on YouTube anyways. But if you did wait to the end credit scene, you know that this shit makes no fucking sense. This guy with probability powers, he you know, saw in his probability matrix in his brain that people from other worlds are coming to this world to destroy the heroes of this world. And that alone, the way he said it, other worlds, implies in the universe that it could be other worlds in this universe. But it kind of breaks the fourth wall, because they've already announced the next couple movies, The Secret Wars and Doomsday, and those are multiversal movies. So, you know, if you know the next movies that they're releasing, it kind of feels like they're teasing multiversal threats. But this guy shouldn't fucking know about multiversal threats. All I gotta say is, don't ever let Julius Ona direct another fucking movie again. I'm gonna do a rating system here. Here's my first rating system. This is gonna be my first rated movie. At a scale from 1 to 5, I'm gonna give this movie... Oh, that's tough. It's tough. On the spot, should I give it a 1 or 2? I'm gonna give it a 2. Because I feel like some of the action was redeemable. Like every fight that Captain America's Sam Wilson was in was engaging. But is that enough to carry a whole movie? And did he sell me on him being a better Captain America or even a replacement Captain America? I'm not 100% sold. He did a serviceable job, but he doesn't have the gravitas that Chris what's his name? Not Chris Pratt. He doesn't have the gravitas that Chris Evans had, as Captain America. He can't carry a movie the way Chris Evans can. I'm not sold on that yet. So, this is going to be a 2 out of 5 star. Right here, I'm going to put it 2 out of 5. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you tuning in to my YouTube video. We're going to get to know each other very well. So please stay tuned and stay safe. Thank you.